The podcast you're about to hear involves true stories, which may contain graphic content that is not suitable for children. Listener's discretion is advised. This is Esoteric Oddities.
Hey guys. You look so shocked. Hey guys.
Because usually you're like, we're starting.
Oh, we're starting. Hey guys.
Hey. I don't like this. Start it over.
Okay. All right. I'll edit this out. Ready? 5, 4. Wait. 5. Wait. Stop. 5, 4, 3, 2. I feel like Freddie on iCarly.
You are.
Hey
guys. I can't stand you with that bun in your hair.
Shut up. Sorry we missed a week last week. It was a doozy.
Yeah, because the fucking episode didn't record.
Yeah,
it wasn't our fault this time.
If you didn't see on our Instagram story, we recorded a whole episode. It's basically what you're going to hear now, since we already did the research. But we recorded a whole episode. We were coming around the end. It was about an hour and 30 minutes or like an hour and 40 minutes or something. Mm-hmm. And the device we used to record, and this has never happened before, it had full battery and it just turned off. And when it turned off, it didn't finish recording like what it was recording.
Love that for us.
So we checked and it had nothing. There was no data. There was nothing. So
not even white noise.
Not even white. It wouldn't even open the like whatever file was on there. And it said there was no data.
This fucking fish is literally bullying this other fish.
Yeah, our studio fish are fighting, which is weird. They
never fight.
They usually are chill. Like, they don't do anything. Except for that one time, remember we were recording and they were like, wow, chicka, wow, wow. Right. I think there's another one in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yikes. Where he at?
He's hiding. He's smart.
He is. He's like, I'll just hide behind this. It'll be fine.
Oh, wait, there he is. You see him? You guys, this is the content
you listen. Oh, my God, no.
We're going to explain what's going on in our fish tank.
I can't believe we really just zoned off there.
We did. Fish are fun though. It's like I feed them and I like to talk to them sometimes, but you like forget that they're like
not people.
To clarify, the fish are taken care of. Yeah,
we don't like not feed them. I have a story for y'all. I have this internal fear, as I mentioned before, about someone watching me on my balcony. Now, if you didn't hear before, my balcony is connected to my bathroom, which is in my room. So, like,
also, which is important to say, it's on the 3rd floor.
Yeah. So, like, the window is like looking out at the balcony in my bathroom. So I don't know.
if you're standing on your balcony, the window is like against the house, you could literally like
you could look in my bathroom. So like that's scary to me. And like the curtain has like a little teeny tiny like space from the windowsill and the window where you can see in. So like,
why don't you put something there?
Like what?
A bookmark? I don't know why that came to mind.
It needs to be big, and also I don't know. It's like when I'm high, I tweak myself out. Anyway, I went out there to just hang out, and I see a fucking half-eaten biscuit on my balcony. So I texted my roommate, and I'm like,
okay, wait, to clarify that again, was a half-eaten biscuit on the balcony, which there are no stairs. I don't think. I just want to paint this picture. There's no way that you can get to her balcony from outside. You have to go inside and up house. 3 stories, and then that's how you get on the balcony. And pretty much, it's outside of Sarah's room, so she's pretty much the only one. Her roommate doesn't really use it.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh
and
my God.
And she found a half-eaten biscuit on the balcony.
And I was like, there was someone up here. I knew it. I wouldn't live it down.
Well, yeah, you FaceTimed me, and I was. It was weird. It was like it
looked like, we'll post a picture on Instagram, and it looks like a human bite. So I texted my roommate and I was like, is this yours? And she's like, I wish. And I'm like, this isn't comical. Like, I'm terrified. She's like, those damn squirrels. And I'm like, you think a squirrel did this? So, I go throughout the whole day terrified that there's someone on my balcony. So I look out the window the next morning and I see a fucking squirrel eating the biscuit. And the squirrel sees me and notices that I'm watching, and he fucking darts with the biscuit. So moral of the story is it was the squirrel's biscuit and he was holding it on my balcony to keep it safe.
But it was horrifying. Like, that's
was
such a
so
horrifying
scary.
concept that somebody could have, because we've discussed it before.
So like I have like sketchy people on my block.
They're
and
crackheads.
They're crackheads. So like I am always like, nope, because they're gonna let someone up into the house so they could get to me, and then they're gonna jump these balconies and try to break in. That's like where my mind's at.
Also, well, do your neighbors have balconies outside? I can't remember.
It's like everyone has a balcony that shares that strip.
No, you're not. No, I thought yours was actually the only patio. Like,
no, everyone so it's like every house has a balcony.
So and since she lives in like a row home situation,
right,
like the old Philly style. So technically,
only
a neighbor could like hop up and then go through if that door's unlocked.
I am saying.
Okay. Yep. Well, your fear is valid. That's some scary shit.
Yeah.
I had a nightmare, and I just realized that I started the story on the phone with you this morning, and I just didn't finish it. I've started a million things that I haven't finished.
Me,
A
that's my whole
memoir
life.
by me. Don't count on it coming out in stores because I'll start it and I won't finish it. But I had a dream that like my friend from high school, her psycho ex came to like murder us, and in the dream, first off, I was bizarrely calm. Like when I woke up, I was like, that's kind of alarming how calm I
Right.
was. But y'all, it was so scary. Like it was so real. And I remember I was playing mind games and like going with it. I was literally just trying to think about like how I could get out of this situation alive. And then when I called the police, I like dialed 911 and
It didn't work.
no, it worked. There was a person on the other line, but then he started laughing and it was the dude's laugh. And I was like, fuck. So then I had to go back in, and I broke into like a hotel room, and I was being so fucking smart. And there was a group of like 4 people, and I was gonna say that the dude was gonna kill me, but I saw the back of one of the guys' heads and he didn't turn around, and I was like, if this is him, I can't say this because he'll know that I'm like he'll know I'm onto him.
Yeah.
So I like walked in front of him and it was him. And I played it off. I was just like, hey, I was looking for you. And he's like, oh, what were you looking for? And in my head, I was like, well, fuck, what am I looking for?
What am I
but
looking
also,
for?
like, props to me for, like, playing that game right. Because if I would have burst in that hotel room door, listen to me.
I need a room.
Yeah, no, I would have been like, this guy's trying to murder me. You would have turned around and been like,
I'm trying to murder you.
but I woke up and it was all a dream.
Isn't it always?
Is that my computer or your computer?
Yours.
It's my. Why does my computer always sound like it's about to blast noise?
How long have you had it for? Let's not talk about it.
I know.
Moving on.
It's like on its.
Thoughts become things.
It's very true. And I export way too many videos and way too many podcasts on this thing for it to be letting me down. Right, baby? Hang in there. Love you. Apple Care. I don't think I'm covered anymore. Hey, guys, this is Esoteric Oddities. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Sarah.
What a doozy of a month this has been.
Yo.
Oh, God. Well, today's episode. This is one of the topics that we
tried before.
We tried before. We passed it up, like, because I think it was me.
Much.
It was too gruesome and gross, and like gave me
I don't really
herbal gerbils.
I don't get stuff like that a lot. It's weird. I get stuff like that by like when humans are treated poorly. Like it makes me sick to my stomach. But like I could stomach things like this.
Yeah. I think it was the eyeball thing that kind of freaked me out. But today we are covering parasites. And I don't know, maybe the universe is telling us maybe we shouldn't cover this because we didn't do it the first time, second time.
That's true. But we're going to do it anyway because that's what the fuck we do.
Right. Universe gives us signs not to do it. We do it anyway. Because eat shit.
Like the universe told me not to buy that fucking couch.
Oh, and it didn't fit.
Yeah, and then I had to walk past it every day for 3 months.
Oh, and the crackheads overtook it.
They sure did.
And our turtles.
There's a lot going on. We're an aquarium down here.
Studio turtles are going crazy. Duck and Aspen. Oh my god, do you hear them? I hope you guys can hear them. They're splishing and splashing all over the damn place.
They're probably going in the little rocks.
Sometimes they like to slide down that thing into the water.
I love
it's
that
so
for
cute.
them. Yes, have fun.
Have a blast.
This fucker over here is still trying to get my mans.
Okay, so like we said, well, we got some disclaimers.
Yeah.
First off, we are not scientists or parasitologists. Fictitious. We are simply two goblins trying to convey interesting information to your ear holes.
Yeah. And look up these pictures at your own discretion.
Yeah, I'll post them, but they're pretty gnarly. I tried to put mine into layman's terms as much as possible.
Who's layman's?
Layman.
Oh.
Layman's terms. I hate you.
Me? Because I said it
Yes. Okay, so being fully transparent, another disclaimer. This episode will make you paranoid.
Yeah,
this episode
literally.
will make you think that you're dying. This episode will ruin many fun of activities.
Yeah, and don't eat.
Yeah, this episode may skew the way you look at
If you're
everyday
on your way to
things.
work eating your fucking bagel,
Put the bagel
put it
down.
down.
Put the bagel down. In the words of...
Oh, you almost have it. You got it.
Put that cookie down. Who said that? Put that
Cookie
down.
Monster?
Who said that?
Who?
Put that cookie down. Who said that? Okay, Google it.
It's going to say Cookie Monster.
And this episode will give you both the heebies and the jeebies. If you are a germaphobe, this will not be for you, bitches. But if you're ready to hear...
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, thank you. That's what it was. Put that cookie down.
Uh-huh.
See, if I would have said it like that, we would have got it. But I was like, put the cookie
Put
down.
the cookie down.
Put the fucking cookie down. You're not going to want to eat while listening to this. But grab your Purell because, bitch, you're going to need it. So I think we both have 3, correct?
Yeah, and we're going to go...
I don't
back
remember
and
who
forth.
I'm first, but...
I'm going to go first.
Okay, Sarah's going to go first.
All right. So this is the lymphatic filarius. It's also known as elephantitis. LF is the disease caused by a thread-like worm that can grow and reproduce in the human lymphatic system, and it's a super important part of humans' immune system. The lymph causing painful swelling of the limbs and scrotum. Please do yourself a favor. Do not look up these pictures. I literally saw swollen balls, dicks, and vaginas. And it's not cute.
It's not cute. It will make you dry.
Yeah.
It's pretty
dry.
Yeah, I was like, it's not going to make you wet. Pretty gnarly stuff.
The disease can be found in 80 countries, such as Asia, South and Central America, Africa, and the Pacific Islands.
I'm sorry, what country was that? What was the first one?
Asia.
Okay. Just checking.
Why? What did you think I said? More than 40% of all affected
It's not
people...
a country.
Really? 80 countries in Asia.
Okay. I was waiting for you to catch something.
Yeah.
But... No, Lord have mercy.
You ain't gonna get me today.
I did.
No, I said in Asia.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Like,
I'm trying to
before.
school you. I'm a scientist.
Yeah, sit down. It's mostly affects people in India. The risk to tourism and travelers with short visits is very low, so don't worry.
Don't worry, you're good.
The larvae of the worms are transmitted to humans by the bite of an infected mosquito. So, like, anyone could be bitten by a fucking mosquito.
Not if I wear my net outfit.
That's true. Net it up. A number of different mosquito species can carry the worms, including Sulex and Ampholis.
So I love that you included those. I just nipped all of those words out of mine. I was just like...
I want to... Listen, I want people to know.
Okay. Because when... yeah. I can... If a mosquito's coming and it's like... Bzz, I'm like, oop, that's a nefarious.
That's a Sulex.
Yeah, and then if it has like a higher octave, like... Bzz, I'm like, oh shit, got duck and cover. Here
Right.
comes... The philanthropist. What is it called?
Ampholis.
Yes, her too.
Many people...
Y'all got to duck and cover when they come for you, I'm saying.
Many people never show symptoms.
Simpsons?
Simpsons. Many people never show symptoms of infection, but also may result in unknown damage to the kidneys and the lymphatic system. Symptoms can take months or years to develop after the initial infection, and including swelling of arms, legs, or other body parts like dicks. Save your dicks.
That's the scientific term, right?
What?
The dick.
A scrotum?
That scrotum is not a dick.
Oh.
Scrotum is the knapsack.
I don't know anything. I'm a lesbian. I'm just kidding.
It's the knapsack that holds the balls.
Oh, the genitals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about this before? I feel like we are always talking
did.
about genitals.
Yeah.
Genitalia.
It was that one man. The circus guy.
Natalia.
Oh,
That's like a
weird.
pretty name, but if it's like, this is my friend Jen and this is her sister Natalia, and it's like genitalia. Like, oh my God, why didn't
It's questionable. Why didn't I think of that?
Seriously. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, nobody's allowed to take this, but since I can't have my own kids, well, I know that I can, but like, I'm probably gonna adopt twins, and I don't care how old they are. I'm gonna rename them. They're probably gonna have identity crisis, and I'm gonna say, "Bitch, me too. Welcome to the real world."
Okay.
And I'm gonna name them Jen and Natalia. I don't care if they're boys or girls because I don't judge or assume my child's
Natalia.
Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner. Can you guys give us a 5-star rating? Am I on crack today?
I think you are. Stop talking.
I'm sorry.
No,
the
I'm just
crack
kidding.
is still pulsing through my veins.
I love when you talk.
Okay. Back to the decks.
So, symptoms include fever, skin exfoliation, limb or genital swelling, repeated episodes of inflammation.
Can you read this a little sexy?
Okay. These symptoms include a fever.
Oh.
Ooh. Testicular pain.
Oh.
Skin exfoliation.
Ooh. I could use that.
Limb or genital swelling.
Ew. Okay.
Chronic swelling, inflammation, and elephantitis of legs, arms, scrotum, uvula, and breasts.
It's actually pretty gnarly and really sad because it definitely happened to a kid. You showed me that last time when we were trying to record it. It like happened to a child, and that's pretty fucked up. But back to the what did you testicular pain?
Yeah.
Okay, off topic. I think it was Cinco de Mayo when we were out at the bar. We were at Bob and Barbara's, and my friend, who will remain nameless, came through, and she got a text from a dude who was like, "I'll pay you $300 to stomp on my dick."
I love that for her.
And you know,
She went.
my ass drove her and waited outside.
You're a good friend.
I am. She made her $300. She knew the guy wasn't like a stranger danger
cool.
situation. I was like, "Girl, go get your $300."
Celebrate.
That's what I'm saying, and that's that on that. I guess.
I love that. Oh my God, look at you.
Yeah.
A blood sample can detect the parasite. Treatment includes DEC and another form of an antibiotic. This has been shown to remove 99% of the worms present, and effects last for a full year. The treatment needs to be repeated annually if there's a continued risk. I'm a doctor. I'll
MD.
take my doctorate now. Thanks.
Thank you. God damn it. Okay, so it's multiple worms living inside you?
Yeah.
Can you cut them out? Like, if you cut open your skin, would you see like little wormy germs?
I don't think so because it's like inside.
Oh.
At that point, you'd be bleeding out.
Oh.
And you probably wouldn't be able to see them because all the blood that's like gushing out of you.
Parasites are insane. It's literally, they're like, let me cling on to this. Let me ride by the coattails of another successful person. It's literally like Manny MUA and Jeffree Star.
True that.
I clocked that shit.
Say that again.
Sorry, we've been staring at the fish. We
I
need to
hate
knock it
us,
off.
Right?
The people probably thought that everybody's probably like, did my phone stop working? Y'all, I'm sorry about that. We literally just got so distracted by the fish. We're never this are we good?
They don't come out.
Yeah, they're usually not this active. You know what it is? They're happy because I did Reiki on them.
I love that for you.
Fish are crazy. Like, how do they breathe?
How do I breathe in water?
That was really beautiful.
Thing.
All right, back to elephantitis.
That's it.
Oh, shit.
That
okay.
was my spiel
You don't remember
on
what
the
it's called?
lymphatic filarius.
Okay, and we're going to have a picture of either the parasite or a victim or something.
A victim. You could do like a leg instead of a dick.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to put a dick picture up
Well,
there.
they wouldn't know because it's so fucking swollen. I had to point it out to you, remember?
Yeah, it looks like a potato. That's sad. I don't want a dick potato. What do you do at that point? I mean, you take your antibiotics, but it removes 99% of the worms, but there's that 1% of worm. He's like,
It
hey,
could be
bitch.
like, I'm here.
I'm here.
Mhm.
I'm queer, and I'm aiming for your genitals. I would like
never
that
lie.
on a t-shirt. All right, so I guess it is little old me. Hey, guys.
Back from Paris.
It's me. So, 29-year-old Fabrizio Stabile was mowing his lawn on the afternoon of Sunday, September 16th, 2018. As we record this, it was a couple of months ago. So he was at his parents' home in New Jersey, and he suddenly experienced a severe headache, and he went inside to lie down. So after taking medication for his headache, Fabrizio slept through the night. And when he woke up Monday morning, the intense headache had not gone away. He asked his mother for more medication, and he went back to sleep. Then, when his mother went to check on him in the early afternoon, Fabrizio was unable to get out of bed and could not speak coherently. His mother called 911, and EMTs rushed him to the hospital in Pleasantville, New Jersey. At first, Fabrizio's symptoms of brain swelling and fever had appeared to be consistent with bacterial meningitis. He was quickly sedated and treated with the appropriate medication and aggressive neurological protocol. But unfortunately, Fabrizio was not responding to these measures, and his condition was rapidly deteriorating. Doctors tested him for a multitude of illnesses caused by various bacteria and viruses, but the results were coming back negative or inconclusive. That's got to be fucking terrifying. Like,
Right,
you don't know what's going
something's
on,
wrong.
but clearly he's like, his body's just shutting down. Then on Thursday of that week, which was just 4 days after his initial headache, one of the test results came back positive. As family and friends huddled in the intensive care unit waiting room, they were delivered the devastating news. He had tested positive for Naegleria fowleri, an extremely rare amoeba that kills 98% of the infected victims. On Friday, September 21st, Fabrizio was pronounced dead. So, Naegleria fowleri, most commonly known as the brain-eating amoeba, is a free-living bacteria-eating.
Love that.
There goes that thing again. It is a free-living bacteria-eating amoeba that causes a sudden and severe brain infection.
What do they like to eat?
Well, they're called the brain-eating amoeba. Let me tell you more. And y'all, this fucker looks like the Scream mask.
I fucking hate that.
Did I ever show you that picture? I know I told you before, but did I show you it?
No.
It's so scary looking. Like, imagine the Scream mask as like a little tiny amoeba eating your brain.
So it's like that picture. You know that art picture? And it's like,
Oh yeah, the guy
Screaming Man?
Yeah. By
look at you.
by Beethoven.
Oh.
Johann Sebastian Bach.
No. You're gonna be fine.
I heard that if you play Johann Sebastian Bach for babies, it makes them really smart.
Is that Beethoven?
No, they're two different. Beethoven is Beethoven.
Oh. So I was like, who?
Oh my god. Did you go to art school?
I didn't go to school.
You actually went to art school. That's where we met.
Like for 1 year.
Okay. Anyway, if you look at this episode's thumbnail, which is posted everywhere, it's somewhere in there. I'm sure you can pick it out. It's fucking scary shit. So this microorganism is typically found in bodies of warm, fresh water, such as ponds, lakes, rivers, hot springs.
We have those.
Very good, Sarah.
Thank you, Professor.
Pick a prize from the prize box.
Give me it.
The prize box. The funny thing about the prize box is it's located on my penis.
I'm good. I'll pass.
I'm sorry if I'm triggering somebody. I'm going to get back to the story. So, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yikes.
So, as the water temperature rises, its number increases. So, basically, the warmer the water, the more likely it is that they're going to multiply. So, it's also found in soil that is near warm water discharges. Fucking hate that word. Of industrial plants. There goes Duck and Aspen.
We're all playing acrobats.
And it's in unchlorinated or minimally chlorinated swimming pools. Okay?
We have those?
We have them. We certainly do. Let me redirect you to the prize box. Redirection.
I don't want it.
Erection.
No.
All this parasite talk got me moister than an oyster. So this parasite can also, like I said, inhabit the soil and is more sensitive to drying and acidic pH levels than other parasites. So basically, it can outlive other parasites. And if there aren't other parasites in the water eating the bacteria that it wants to eat, then it's then they fucking thrive, bitch.
Wait, so there are always parasites in the water, just some that don't harm humans?
No, if
Oh,
you like chlorinate your pool and shit, you're good, but
Okay.
don't ever, like, I remember my friend's pool was like nasty and green, and I thought it was okay because it was a pool. So one time we were running in high school, and it was so fucking hot that we jumped in the
Don't
nasty
do
pool,
it!
and like we both got sick. So I don't know what that was about, but it probably was like some sort of nasty, obviously not brain eating, or maybe that's why my body is shutting down from high school all those years ago. It's just been like a brain eating amoeba living in my brain. That would explain a lot. Back to the parasites. What I didn't mention is that they cannot survive in seawater, which is good to know because you're, not paranoid at the beach yet, motherfuckers. So this amoeba, however, is able to grow best at moderately elevated temperatures, making summer months, more likely to have cases. And it's able to survive in 115 degrees Fahrenheit.
I love that for you.
I forgot the word. And thrives in the absence of other predators consuming its food supply. So this suggests that human disturbances, such as thermal pollution, love that, America, and other places, because it's usually not America, love that, everybody. All right, we're just going to go ahead and move on. So the brain-eating amoeba was identified in the 1960s in Australia, but appears to have evolved in the United States. The amoeba occurs in 3 horrifying forms. So come on, take my hand. We're going to walk you through amoeba land. So form number
How
1.
original.
Thank you. Form number 1 is the cyst. So the cyst forms, and it's spherical. You know about cysts. It's about 7 to 15 micrometers in diameter. And these cysts are naturally resistant to environmental factors, which increase the chances of survival until better conditions occur. So basically, this little amoeba thing, if it's getting too cold or too hot, it'll just turn into like a little cyst on your body, and it'll be like, I'm going to hang here until like the coast is clear. Like it makes a little cocoon for itself. Very smart, very cunning. I will give it that.
Wow, look at that.
So factors that trigger the cyst formation include lack of food, overcrowding, dehydration, accumulation of waste products, and cold temperatures. Yeah, it can't be hot temperatures because people would probably die if they were consistently at 115 degrees by the time a cyst forms. You got other issues going on in your body, honey.
Right.
So when conditions approve, the amoeba can escape through the pore to the middle of the
hate that
cyst.
word.
Yeah. My pores are huge. Don't look at my face.
Mine too.
The brain-eating amoeba is found to insist at temperatures below 50. Okay, so not hotter. So when it gets too cold for it to survive, it goes in cyst mode. Cyst land. I love that. Sister. Cyster. Sister.
That was a cute little thing at the end you did there.
Thank you. Form number 2 is the trophozoite, or the growing stage. I'm just going to call it the growing stage. I totally just lied. The trophozoite, the growing stage, is the feeding, dividing, and infective stage for humans. The growing parasite attaches to a tissue inside the victim's nasal cavity, where it follows the sensory cells through the nasal cavity to the to the brain. You just spit all over.
I'm so sorry, but like, what?
You're silly. So we're like laughing, but this is really fucked up.
Right, that's true.
This growing stage of the brain-eating amoeba transforms near about 77 degrees Fahrenheit and grows fastest at 106.7 degrees Fahrenheit and multiplies quickly. In order to travel through the victim's body, the growing parasite extends. Oh, this is so fucking disgusting to think about. These little fuckers, this tiny ass little fucker is so smart. To travel through the human body, the growing parasite extends parts of their body's cell membrane and then fills them in with plasma to force motion. The extended parts of their body form at different points along the cell, allowing the brain-eating amoeba to change fucking directions. So in their free-living state, the parasite feeds on bacteria, but when it's in a human host, they consume by enclosing, then digesting prey, which is red blood cells and white blood cells, destroying tissue until they can make it to the brain. And then they eat the red and white blood cells in the brain. And then the third and final form it can be found in is the flagellate, not to be confused with the flatulent. That's a fart. So the flagellate is pear-shaped and biflagellate, which means it has two little antenna-looking things. You know the way like lobsters and cockroaches can like throat punch a hoe with those little antennas. So this form can be inhaled through the nasal cavity during swimming or diving. Once inside the nasal cavity, the flagellate form turns into form 2 parasite. They can literally shapeshift to do whatever the fuck they want.
Ew.
And it happens within a few hours. It can literally just be like, you know what? I want to change myself for the better. And then it does.
I'm going to be a cyst.
Maybe we should be more like brain-eating amoeba.
I'm okay.
Are you sure?
I love myself.
Oh, I love that for you. I could use a few changes. Oh, Christ almighty. So yeah, it can take this one amoeba can go through 3 different forms whenever it fucking feels like it. They're pesky little fuckers. So the brain-eating amoeba causes a lethal infection in the brain called neglariasis. So that's essentially what you die of when it eats your brain.
Oh, yikes.
And it kills, again, 98% of its victims. Essentially, if you have this, you're most likely going to die from it. Infections.
Let me down easy.
You're so welcome. Infections most often occur when water containing this parasite is inhaled through the nose, where it enters the nasal cavity, traveling to the brain, as I mentioned before. So you guys, next time you get water up your nose, I'm sure we're all going to be thinking of me saying that right there.
Stop. I always get water up my nose and it burns.
I hate when water gets up my nose, but now I have another fear. It's like, okay, well, now I have 6 days to live because I'm going to fucking die from a brain-eating amoeba. But you know what? If it's my time to go, it's my time to go.
Wow. So
but,
optimistic.
Listen, there's not much you can do. So the reason why this parasite prefers to pass across the nasal cavity remains unknown, but the neurotransmitter there has been suggested that it acts as a stimulant, blah, 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 and it's a preferred path to the brain. Basically, we don't know why it does this, but it knows where your brain is because that's what people always end up dying from is it enters through your nasal cavity and then gets to your brain and chomps away at it.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
And it takes an average of 5 days, but it can range between 1 day to 9 days for symptoms to appear after the exposure of the parasite. So essentially 5 days could happen. It's taking over your body and you don't even have a single symptom. Early symptoms include headache, fever, and nausea. Oh, should I read this sexy?
Yeah.
Early symptoms include headache, fever, and nausea.
I love that for you.
Later symptoms include stiff neck, confusion, lack of attention, loss of balance, seizures. Okay, that's not funny. I shouldn't. And oftentimes hallucinations. I'm not trying to make this funny. No disrespect. I'm sorry. I apologize. So once the symptoms begin to appear, death of the victim will occur within 2 weeks. So a person with the brain-eating amoeba cannot spread infection to another person, which is great. Because if you got 2 weeks to live, you're going to want to
party it up.
Fuck as many bitches as you can. New treatments are sought out, but there are no official treatments that have been 100% effective 100% of the time, aka it's treatable, but there's no cured guarantee. According to the CDC, as we record this episode in 2019, there have only been 143 diagnosed cases of the parasite since it was discovered.
Oh, that's not bad.
In the 1960s. Yeah. And there goes that beep again. Of the 34 cases reported in the U.S. between 2008 and 2017, 30 people had been infected by recreational water, aka public swimming pools. 3 people were infected by performing nasal irrigation using contaminated tap water, aka neti pots. Y'all, if you're using a fucking neti pot, do not use your sink water. Do not use your sink water.
Do not use your sink water.
Yes, I think you have to do distilled water. You have to buy the distilled water, or you put a pouch of the saline solution into something. I don't know. Read what the neti pot says. Do not use your tap water. My brother used to use the tap water, and I would freak out. I'd be like,
you're gonna get a parasite.
Well, I knew that you could get a parasite that way, but I didn't think that was 3
Brain
fucking
eating,
people
right,
who got, I mean, it doesn't sound like that many people, but of the 34 cases, what percentage that? I don't know. More than I can think of, but
you're smarter than me. Knock
it off with your neti pots. Follow the directions on the package. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. Hold on. My brother just texted me. Okay. And the last person, one person was infected by a contaminated water hose that was used in a water gun, and they got shot with the water gun and it went up their nose. I can only assume that was a little kid, and that breaks my heart. Of these few cases reported, only 5 people in North America have been known to survive. 3 of those survivors were treated with drug therapy. So again, I mean, it's not totally, it's treatable. It's not curable. No cure is guaranteed. As for Fabrizio Stabile, who we were talking about, investigators believe that he had contracted the amoeba during a visit to the BSR Cable Park in Waco, Texas, in the wave pool. The water park was temporarily closed pending the investigation by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the park owner, Stuart E. Parsons Jr., said, "Our hearts and prayers are with the family, friends, and the New Jersey surf community during this difficult time. BSR Surf Resorts operate a state-of-the-art artificial man-made wave. We are in compliance with the CDC guidelines and recommendations concerning Naglia, the brain-eating amoeba." In the wake of Fabrizio's death, his family founded the Fabrizio Stabile Foundation for Brain-Eating Amoeba Awareness. They use the real word, but it's difficult for a little girl like me, which raised more than $22,000 in less than a week on their GoFundMe page. And that is the brain-eating amoeba.
Wow.
That's some
terrifying,
crazy shit.
Right?
Also, public pools skeeve me out. I can't do them. They just like skeeve me out. There's too many people with too many orifices.
I don't know what's going on.
Brain-eating amoeba is lurking, waiting for its next victim. You don't know how much
and it
chlorine.
won't be me, honey.
Right? You don't know how much chlorine those people are putting in there.
They could just be like, oops.
Do you pee in pools?
No.
But you a lie, because I've been with you in a pool. And it always seems warmer around you.
I don't pee in pools.
You do pee in pools.
I pee in the ocean.
I pooped in the ocean once.
I love that for you.
I wasn't even a kid. I was in high school.
Oh. Well, now we know your secrets.
No follow-up story on that, you guys. You'll have to use
your imagination.
Your imagination.
Moving right along here. Kelly Dumas said that she thought the small red bumps on her son's skin were bites from chiggers or mosquitoes. There's a pattern here.
Mm-hmm.
Her son Michael had just returned from Florida, and she knew he had spent a lot of time outdoors. But within days, she said the 17-year-old had several more spots. Then his whole backside was covered. Ultimately, Dumas said areas on her son's feet, legs, and butt were covered in red, itchy rashes.
Oh, I remember this one.
Which is the sign of a certain type of hookworm, a parasite that can infect both animals and humans.
No. Gross.
So, hookworms are bloodsuckers, and they can cause intestinal inflammation and severe anemia from sucking on the host intestinal walls. So, what they do is they like suck on your stomach.
Oh God. People used to eat tapeworms.
Wow. Oh yeah, to get skinny.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna look it up because I'm pretty sure they actually like sold them at one point.
Oh no. Dumas said that the doctor confirmed that it was a continuous larva, a skin condition caused by larvae from animal hookworms.
Okay, I see this this ad. I don't think this is real. I don't know if this is real. It looks like somebody probably photoshopped it. It could be real, but basically, I'm sorry, I'm like moving this conversation away from what you're talking about.
It's so fine.
But it's literally I'll put it on our social media. It says, "Fat, the enemy that is shortening your life, banished within," or it says how, "with sanitized tapeworms, jar packed, friends for a fair form, easy to swallow." So it says no ill effects, and it's a woman and a whole bunch of, it looks like, food that she can eat whatever she wants. No diet, no baths, no exercise, no danger. You heard it here first, guys. The tapeworm diet. You just eat a tapeworm, and everything you eat, it will eat for you, and you don't have to worry about
going to the gym. Cancel your membership.
Going to the gym. Cancel your membership. Eat a tapeworm.
Mine's for a year long. I'm locked the fuck in.
No, you're not. Just go in there and be like,
I have a tapeworm.
I have a tapeworm. I don't need you.
Dumas is quoted saying, "I can't stress enough how traumatic it is for a teenage boy and his mother to know that there are worms living in his body." The boy and the mother are from Memphis, and her son and several others contracted the parasite after visiting Pompano Beach near Fort Lauderdale in mid-June during a mission trip to South Florida. Not really sure what a mission trip is, but
it's like a lot of the mission trips are like church based.
Yeah.
They don't have to be, but like a lot of them, like my brother went on a couple of mission trips after Katrina. Like they went down to see the stuff. So it was just like a group of younger kids with like guides who went and they helped clean shit up.
Nice.
And saw some fucked up shit.
So hookworms.
Love that.
Hookworms are spread through the feces of animals or humans who have the parasite, and people can get them by walking barefoot on sand or soil that has been contaminated. Michael had been buried up to his neck in sand.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
Dumas said that the doctor gave Michael an antibiotic and an antiparasitic, but the medicine wasn't working fast enough, so she made an emergency appointment with the dermatologist in that month.
So in my head, I was thinking that he probably got it from the water, but he didn't. He got it from the sand because the sand was probably contaminated.
Yes.
Okay. Where was the first bump? On his back or his leg?
His
or
side.
foot? His side? Okay.
And then it was like all over his back.
So would the bump show where it at the point of entry, maybe?
I don't know, because the ones on his legs, you could look like you could see the worms.
Oh my God! How do they travel all the way? That's like a mile in worm length.
Oh, just wait. Dumas said the dermatologist used cryotherapy, a treatment in which liquid nitrogen is commonly used to freeze the skin off where the worms are.
No, I've wanted to do that. They have like the cryotherapy like chambers that you can go into.
Yeah, but during the treatment,
oh yeah. I remember this part. Okay, go ahead.
The son had asked the doctor to stop, saying that he can feel the worms running away from the liquid nitrogen.
I would surround them with like a cup, and I would just like like a circle, like they can't get. Oh my God! Ew. What do you do? What do you do? I have the heebie-jeebies. I would cut my leg off. I'd be like, "This is it, straight up." What is that movie? We struggled last time. I'm struggling again.
I don't remember.
Evil Dead.
Oh, yeah.
I take that turkey carver and cha-ching.
The two major
I don't think it would
types
make that noise,
of hookworms that cause infection are Nectar americanus and the duodenal. Yeah, sure. The eggs of these hookworms end up on the ground after passing through the human feces. They latch onto larvae, which stay in the soil until they have a chance to break through your skin.
Ew, and they're just waiting there for someone to step on them. Get a job. Are you fucking kidding me?
Ugh.
Did you find a picture?
Yeah. I've, a lot of pictures.
Can you show me? Ah!
I have a worse one. Are you ready?
Oh, God. Okay, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. You showed me that one. That looks...
those are the worms.
They're big.
Mm-hmm.
Those are big
long.
boys. You can see them through the skin, everybody. Go ahead and check out our social media to be horrified.
You can become infected with hookworms by coming into contact with soil that contains their larva. The larva enters your skin, travels through your bloodstream, and enters your lungs. They are carried to your small intestine when you cough them out of the lung and swallow.
What?
Fully grown, they can live in your small intestines for a year or more, before passing through your feces. People who live in warm climates and areas with poor hygiene and sanitation are more at risk to develop hookworm infections. Are you ready
Everybody,
for this?
wash your bussies. Wash your bussies.
Are you ready for this?
Probably not.
What's even worse is how they get in the host in the first place. They generally infect people who walk barefoot in areas contaminated by fecal matter.
Right.
The larva penetrates the skin of the foot and then migrates through the lungs into the trachea where the host swallows them.
Straight up absorbed. They're literally just absorbed through your skin.
No, they poke a hole and they get in there and then they get to your throat so you could swallow it so they could get into the stomach. Once they pass into the digestive system, they mature into adult worms.
Oh my god! Wow. Okay, so they're like, let's start it from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah.
Literally,
they trick you into swallowing them.
They got us again. Straight up, to get to your inner organs, they do a whole lot of fucking work. They gotta slither all the way up your body. They gotta do all that work. So that's probably before any symptoms, right?
Yeah.
I would assume, because I went to school for parasitic parasitis.
Yeah, you're a doctor now.
Thank
the
you.
symptoms are abdominal pain, cramping, nausea, fever, blood in your poop, loss of appetite, and itchy
I
rash.
hate to say
And
it, but I
that
literally
is the
have all of those.
hookworms.
I might have hookworm.
Ooh, you better go get checked.
Can you check?
No, I'm good.
Okay. That's gross and scary. And I have a friend who is 400% of the time barefoot. Nelson.
Oh, help him.
Nelson, if you're listening to this, or if anybody knows Nelson and is listening to this,
Tell
please
him.
Tell him to wear fucking shoes. Don't put down... Wait, what do they say before they go to a commercial? Don't touch that dial. Don't touch that bagel, because we got more coming at you now. So, again, a very recent one I'm going to talk about is in 2018. A 36-year-old woman returned to her home in Florida after her honeymoon on the eastern coast of Central America and Belize. A few days after her trip, she noticed what looked like a pimple on the left side of her groin.
Oh, God.
The bump was itchy, but not painful. The woman went to her doctor and stated that she may have been bitten by an insect while in Belize, but she wasn't 100% sure. She told her doctor that while on her honeymoon, she found a tick on her back after the couple had gone horseback riding. She removed the tick immediately, and the tick was present on her for no more than an hour. Ticks freak me out.
Leeches freak me out, too.
Leeches freak me out. Yeah. I used to go to a place around here where we would literally jump off of a bridge and into water.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, they crack down, like, nobody could do it anymore.
don't
But, like,
tell
kids
me.
would find leeches on them.
I'm good on that.
Yeah. And I got real close with my friends that summer. We had to check each other's vaginas.
Oh, God.
So what was I saying? Okay, yeah, the tick thing. Ticks are scary.
Everything is scary.
Ticks are scary. Do you remember when baby had fleas and one jumped on my arm? I was not okay.
I remember that.
You
were
could
like,
see it. I was like, what the? And then it took three people fully clothed to bathe this cat in a flea
and
bath.
it didn't even work because we had to bomb the entire house.
Oh my God. Whoa. Wait. You guys. Oh, wow. Hold on. I totally forgot. Okay. Hey, guys. So the cat that I used to have, unfortunately, don't have him anymore. May he rest in paradise. He had fleas because we had him for a little while. It was the cat we stole from a party. If you listen to an episode, we explained that story. But he had fleas because our one roommate would come home from her boyfriend's place and it was a gross, dirty situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that like the fleas had gotten either from his dog or his cat had gotten on her book bag because baby, our cat, used to sleep on the book bag. I guess literally it could have happened at any time,
yeah.
but he didn't have any flea problems until she started going there and leaving her book bag in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, boss, we did the treatment, we did the flea bath, we did the back stuff, that we tried everything, but I was afraid that fleas were getting everywhere and I was paranoid because it just skeeved me out. Okay. So we decide we have to fucking bomb the house because we didn't want our landlord to find out or something. So Sarah and I buy these bombs.
I hate it.
Which, if you guys don't know, it's literally like a smoke bomb where you pull the tab and you gotta jet the fuck out of the house. So I don't remember where. I think I had class.
Yeah,
and you were in some guy's
No, he didn't
car.
have. Oh,
His
yeah.
car, yeah. We took the
with
cat. It's not some guy's car. I just don't feel like talking about it.
No, we're not. Moving on.
His car, you and him, I'm pretty sure, stayed in
With
the
the
car
cat.
with the cat while I was in class. And then, okay, but before we do this, I'm downstairs in my room. I have one. There's like one in the kitchen, one in the living room, one in the basement, which is where my bedroom was, and then one in Sarah's room, which was all the way in the back. So I thought you said ready. She didn't. So I pulled my tab and then it starts going. I run up the stairs and she's not ready. We both just start screaming and there's smoke billowing in the house and we're both just like, ah! It was the fucking dumbest thing. And then we got out of the house. Oh my God, that was a nightmare. I thought we were going to have to burn the whole house down.
What? That's it. The fog smoke shit didn't even work.
I thought it did.
No, we had to hire someone.
Oh my God, I forgot all that shit.
Yeah. Love that.
We had some crazy shit happening when we were living
Sure
together.
did.
It was like an everyday occurrence. Ooh.
I have to pee.
Okay. Okay, are you done? You done peeing?
Yeah.
All right. What did I say? Okay, so the tick was removed immediately and it was present on her skin, like I said, for no more than an hour. So the doctor presumes it might be an infected spider bite. So she was given antibiotics and basically sent on her way. So the woman completed her antibiotic course, but only saw a 50% improvement in the redness, which surrounded the lesion. So what used to be red was now like a light pink.
Yikes.
And the small bump still remained. So when the lesion had when the lesion had a hole in the center with pus coming out, the woman was like, you know what? I should probably go get a second opinion. Also, this woman is real. She just did not want to be identified in this public study. The files are public. The woman's name is not. So yes, she's like, oh, it's dripping pus coming out. So I should probably go get a second opinion at a wound management clinic. So doctors there believed the wound looked like a small bite. She told the doctors that she had never previously had a similar lesion like this. She said she never came into contact with someone who had a similar lesion like this. She didn't have any rashes. She didn't have any fevers, no chills. She wasn't bleeding, no fatigue or any other onset symptoms. So they were like, you know what? It's possibly a cyst or an ingrown hair. So they had
They keep just changing it.
well, they're trying to figure out what the fuck it is. They thought it was a bug bite. So now they're like, okay, so let's do a non-invasive attempt to remove an ingrown hair. And it was unsuccessful because they were just like, okay, if whatever this is, we're going to have to send you somewhere else where they have the equipment. Like this was just the person giving a second opinion. So she then was sent to the Memorial Hospital in Tampa, Florida. Shout out Tampa.
Why?
I don't know, just because it's close to tampon and I like that. So doctors there discovered something different about the wound. They were like, okay, it felt hard to the touch. And the woman's doctor referred her to a surgeon who was at the hospital who suspected she had something growing under her skin. And baby, that doctor was correct. Don't touch that bagel. When the surgeon cut open the wound, what popped out was a squirming little pink larva.
Get out of here.
The woman was host to a Dermatobia hominis
Disgusting.
parasite, better known as botfly larva. So, Dermatobia hominis or hominis are large, densely haired flies that kind of look like bumblebees, but and again, it's called the botfly. But their larva is what you got to worry about. So. Bot flies deposit eggs on a host, usually a mosquito or a tick, like you said before.
No.
When the insect host clings to a human to suck the blood, the eggs are in exchange deposited below the human skin surface. Once those eggs are inside the human body, the heat of the skin causes the eggs to hatch into larvae, where it can last anywhere from 27 to 128 days without paying a cent of rent. And this also causes painful painful cystic-like lesions that secrete fluid, meaning the pus excreting hole that was in the middle of the woman's lesion was formed by the larva itself so it could breathe. So it literally was like, I need air, and it poked a little fucking hole, pushed all the pus out, and was literally breathing.
That's disgusting.
Disgusting, some might say. Yeah?
So, like, it's down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good question. Wow, you really chimed in at the right time. So this parasite is typically found on human genitals, scalps, breasts,
So
and
when they are,
eyes.
like, poking out eyes, you're not going to see it. Like, what the fuck is that?
No, I think you would see the pus, but I will get to it. My theory is probably because that's the warmest, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like central on the body, and it's like, it's a
always
little
covered.
crevice. Yeah. So according to this case report that I was reading, some patients feel the larva moving under their skin when they shower or cover the wound. On the pus side, did I just say on the pus side?
You did.
Oh my God.
I thought that was a pun.
No. I mean, I guess it was, but it wasn't on purpose.
I love that
It wasn't on
idea.
porpoise. If I was talking about porpoises, that would have been hilarious. But I'm not. So on the plus side, botfly larvae are not known to transmit diseases.
Oh, look at that.
So that's good. And in most cases, like in this woman's, they don't require heavy surgery. Just light surgery, just a little,
Just a little bit.
so I guess essentially you can squeeze the thing like a little pimple and the little squirmy larva might pop out and say hello.
Disgusting.
Imagine popping like a zit
And,
on
like,
your
it's like a
asshole
little fucking-
and just like something pops out. I picture the thing from, the Corpse Bride, you know, the little worm with the
Yeah.
big ass Kylie Jenner lips. It's like, hello, I've been living in your crotch. It's nice and warm down here.
That's disgusting.
Drink more water, or I have noticed you're dehydrated. That was a good impression. I don't know who I'm
But you're
what's
doing
that
it.
word? I sure am, and I think I did a darn good job of it. Also, it sounds gross, but like, what an honor. Like, you could have stayed at any other human being. You could have stayed at the Red Roof Inn down the street, but like,
You're
you
here.
chose to live in my tight little bussy. Thank you. Give me a good Yelp review. So, all jokes aside, the larva is left beneath the skin if the larva is left beneath the skin long enough and you don't go to the doctor, it will eventually make its own way out itself. It's like, fuck this place I'm out. It could just fucking crawl out. Your pussy's pussing and a worm pops out.
I'll let myself out. Thanks.
Yeah, really. Oh my God, how disgusting. The botfly parasite is actually the fourth most common travel-associated skin disease. So it's rarely seen in the U.S., even though this woman was from Florida.
We'll bring it back here.
Right. It's pretty common in residents and visitors of tropical regions of the Americas. And it's actually so common there that the residents in Belize have come up with their own remedies to get rid of botfly larvae quicker. Listen to this. This is so bizarre, but I guess they have it figured out. They suffocate the larva by putting petroleum jelly, bacon strips, or nail polish over the wound opening. How weird, right?
Nail polish? Bacon?
No, they're different things.
Oh.
Petroleum jelly.
I know. Bacon strips.
Or
And
nail
nail
polish.
polish.
Yeah, it's like, how did they figure that out? I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it's just what they had access to, ? I have no idea. But the unnamed woman ended up being totally okay once the botfly was removed and her skin healed completely. So good for her.
Good for her.
Nasty. I remember there was ringworm at my high school on the gym mats. It happens like frequently. I was like, y'all need to Clorox, Mr. Clean that.
Right. Why didn't
Any
they?
type of like Lysol. Y'all got
If it
Lysol?
happens one time, like, take care of it.
Right, get rid of the mats. Buy a new one.
Burn them.
Burn them. Burn the school down while you're at it.
Sorry.
Are you kidding
I
me?
drank all that water.
You literally just went pee 4 minutes ago.
I drank all that water.
Okay, leave the attitude in the bathroom too, please. All right, and we're back from your second pee trip.
Hi, don't make fun of me. I'm drinking a lot of water because I'm a healthy human.
Perfect.
The story is about Ben Taylor. He's based in the UK, but he is a frequent traveler to Gabon in Central Africa. I probably said that wrong. I am sorry. On a particular trip in 2013, he spent several weeks deep in the forest with the indigenous population, and while he didn't know at the time, that's where the trouble started.
Oh, God.
6 months later, he noticed that things started getting weird. At first, it was a strange feeling in his forehead, like a muscle snapping. Then there was a lump, followed by more and some strange swelling. Over the next...
I'm just realizing we didn't get this far in the last time we recorded. I think this is... Okay, so this is new to me, new to you.
Then there was a lump, followed by more and some strange swelling. Over the next year, those symptoms were joined by joint pain, and gut
Years?
issues. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, over the next year.
Okay. But still, that's like a long time. Wow. Okay. So.
Yeah, even his usually happy-go-lucky demeanor had plummeted. Both Taylor and the doctors didn't know what was going on. And then a new symptom popped up. He became blind in his eye, and he had photosensitivity. And
Oh my God, what's photosensitivity?
like when people take pictures of you.
And you're like, don't post that?
No, and you're like, ow, that hurt.
I don't know if that's right. Or sure it's not sensitivity to the sun, like photosynthesis.
I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
looking in
Wait,
the
it is a sun allergy.
Fuck.
When people take
I'm an
pictures
idiot.
of you.
When people take pictures of you and you say ow, I'm a fucking idiot. Y'all all
You're
just
not-
witnessed
You
that.
know what? Stop calling yourself a fucking idiot. It's silly. It's funny. You're not a scientist or a wordologist. You didn't know. And some of the people may not have known either. But now,
I cannot. Like yesterday, that was...
oh my God. Don't post that picture of me.
What picture?
Oh my God. Just go
Oh,
ahead.
because you said photos.
Yeah.
Got it.
Go ahead.
God. He said he remembers looking in the mirror and there was a whitish yellow lump on the outside corner of the white of his eye.
A lump? In his eye.
Yeah, it was like whitish yellow. He, of course, took it to Google, and what would become a moment of irony scrolled past the Loa Loa worm, feeling thankful at least he didn't have that.
Oh God, but he did.
He went back to the mirror, and this time the lump was gone, but a curved line at the bottom of
Oh
his
no,
eye
it's a worm. It's a worm. It's a worm. It's
had
a worm.
appeared. This
It's a worm.
time, when I touched it, the object wiggled.
I am getting bile building up in my throat because this is disgusting. And you know what's crazy is because usually it's the opposite. Like you Google something and it's like, you're dying. And you're like, oh my God, I'm dying.
He's like,
but
oh,
you
that's
aren't.
funny. Haha, that's
At least
not
that's
me.
not. No, you guys don't Google things. That just fucks me up because now when I Google something, I'm going to be like, well, that guy thought he wasn't dying
And now
he was.
I'm going to be, Loa Loa is also known, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'm going to assume. Loa,
Okay.
Loa.
Okay. Oh, wait, no. We must have talked about this. I don't remember this, though.
Loa Loa is known as the eye worm. It's a parasitic worm that lives within humans and other mammals' bodies. Specifically, you guessed it, eyes.
Well, because you said it was an eye worm.
I know.
We didn't guess it. You told us.
The loa is contracted from certain flies, and after an infected fly bites its victim, the worm begins floating around tissue of the bitten host. The worm travels along the tissue, moving through the body until it stops and causes swelling and irritation in that spot. So that's where his swelling came from.
A fly bite?
Yeah.
Like those nasty green heads. They'll get you.
Yo, those are nasty.
They're nasty green heads.
He, of course, went to the hospital and they confirmed his diagnosis. Taylor had indeed been infected by the Loa Loa worm, and they were having a party in his eyes.
Ew.
The doctors pulled out a 3.5 centimeter worm that's over an inch long from Taylor's eye, and it was wiggling for about a minute before it died.
Ah! Oh my God.
These Loa Loa worms are also called African eye worms.
I feel like my eye is now itchy.
The worms aren't contagious, and you can't pass them from person to person.
Bet.
But they can eventually cause symptoms like itching, muscle and joint pain, and fatigue. It's also possible to see them wiggling around
No.
under your skin.
Okay, you're telling me.
And also eye, like I mentioned before.
Hold on, wait. But you're telling me if I have that eye worm, and
You'll
I
see
give
it in your
I
eye.
give you a little butterfly kiss. You
I'm
remember
not going
the-
to get it.
No way. It
It's
could.
in-
Something has to like transfer.
No, honeybee.
No little germy wormy's gonna scoop on out.
Mm-mm.
Let's try it. Let's put it to the test.
I'm good.
Okay.
The worms can live inside a human for 17 years. They can easily be killed off by antibiotics and extracted through minor surgery. And that is the case
Of the eye worm.
of the Loa Loa eye worm.
All right, so it is June 17th, 2008, and Jeffrey Miller, nicknamed Kuzo, which means jackass, was at the Amazon basin searching for gold. He hired a group of natives to help him search for gold, and from what I gathered, they pretty much were just doing all the work for him, and it was allegedly a very hot day. So to beat the heat, Jeff decided to cool off by swimming in the river. And what do a lot of children and grown men and you do in a body of water? They relieve themselves. That's correct. So while Jeff was peeing, he felt a flutter in his trunks.
Yikes.
And then a searing pain in his dick.
No.
Or what science calls it, his penis. Did I tell you this?
Yeah,
Okay, so we did get this far.
I think so.
Okay. All right. So,
I think we got to half of the story.
okay. So what Jeff didn't know is that his urine attracted a parasite in the Amazonian water, the Vendelia curosa, known as the candiru catfish a tiny parasite. And the tiny parasite entered his penis and attached itself to the side of his urethra.
Ah!
So Jeff had two options: leave it in and risk amputation, or pull it out and potentially tear out parts of inside of his wiener. Jeff chose to rip out the parasite, but lost most of the inside of his penis, causing him to bleed. So the extended version of this story is fabricated, where the blood attracts piranhas. The piranhas start to bite him. They pretty much kill him, and then his skeleton floats by and his hired help finds the gold. I'm pretty sure it's a fabricated story.
That's what he gets for hiring people.
Right. That was specifically on the lovely show 1,000 Ways to Die.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I love that fucking show. But the Candiru catfish parasite is very fucking real. So that story that I just told, not really sure if it's real. They say it was reported, but I actually have a story a little bit later that was reported. Why don't I stop talking about what I'm about to talk about and just fucking do the damn thing? Again, like I said, this parasite is real, but some stories surrounding them are not. So let's get to the base of it. That was a penis joke. Just a little penis joke. Well, not a little penis joke, but like a normal average sized penis joke. So there was a German botanist. His name was Carl Friedrich Philipp von Martius. Wow.
Who?
Right? Remember those poems you would have to write where it's like you write your name like down the side and like
Oh,
J
you would
is
have
for
to-
jolly.
Yeah.
O is for over the top. N is for not you, honey.
Right.
Right? So like imagine being like Carl Friedrich Philipp von Martius.
F is for no. F is for I'm not doing this.
You got it. You got the hang of it. So he was the first European to document the Candurus parasite in the Amazon. So in his findings, he talks about the main entry point through the urethra, as that orifice is usually underwater and is an easy pathway into the human host's body. So this von Martius dude, he also described how local men actually tied their urethras shut when spending time around the water. They would use like a shoelace or like a rubber band, or maybe a bungee cord if you're well endowed. I don't know what kind of situation you got going on down there. So others have written about the parasite, and the authors mostly focus on the vulnerability of penises to attack, maybe because the authors themselves were all men. But many emphasis that the fish do not discriminate, honey. Don't worry, because they will happily enter a convenient vagina or anus. That sounded problematic, that sentence I just said. If that sounds nasty, baby, get ready, because it gets worse. Some writers claim that the parasite can leap from the water and vigorously ascend the streams of urine to reach its target. So like think about it. If you're peeing, like you have like a nice stream going, but that fish can swim against that stream and be like, I enter pee hole now. So there's also stories of the parasite biting holes in the flesh of passerbys in order to enter and feed on their blood. Perhaps the most terrifying of all the remedies offered for the parasite in the genitals. While some sources optimistically recommend a hot bath or herbs capable of dissolving the fish, the verdict is virtually unanimous. The best way to get rid of the parasite is to remove the offending member altogether, which means chopping the dick off. You get to chop the dick off, because it's just going to get in there, and it's not, it's not like when my cat gets under the stove and I can coerce her out with some treats. I don't think that'll work.
It's in there.
With your pee-pee. So this dude named George Albert Bowlinger, he's the curator of fishes at the British Museum. He published, quote, "The only means of preventing it from reaching the bladder where it causes inflammation and ultimately death is to instantly amputate the penis. At Tre Undos, Dr. Bach had actually examined a man and 3 boys with amputated penises as a result of the dreadful accident." So there's a big issue here. It's that dozens of reports from the 19th and early 20th centuries of the Candiru behavior, basically everyone relies exclusively on hearsay. So then there's this other dude. He's a renowned Amazonian. I'm not even going to attempt that word. He's he does important shit. He said, quote, I was told of numerous cases of the Canderous entering the urethra, but they were always some distance downstream. And when I arrived downstream, I was told by many that such cases occurred upstream. So it kind of just sounded like it was like an old wives' tale where it's just like, don't pee in the river because they're going to come and get you pee-pee. So like this town of people who are by the river are like, no, that doesn't happen here, but we did hear it happened over there. And then the other people are like, no, it didn't happen here. But ultimately these people who are looking into it are just like, okay, so the fish live here, but they're not swimming into the people's pee holes like everybody's saying. But there was one detailed account. The year was 1997. In Manaus, I'm probably saying that wrong, I apologize, which is the isolated capital of the Brazilian state. There was a patient and he was wheeled into a hospital with a Candiru parasite in his urethra. After hours of surgery, urologist Dr. Anwar Samad managed to extract the fish, dragging its carcass back out through the unfortunate patient's penis.
Yikes.
So the incident was subsequently published in medical records, but it remains the only first-hand example of such procedure in medical literature. So basically what I'm saying here is I'm not talking just about the parasite, but I'm talking about the stuff that's behind the parasite. So there is certainly a fair chance that the story I told at the beginning with the dude like panning for gold, that didn't happen. Yeah. From 1,000 Ways to Die. Can you believe that they would lie to us? Why would Spike TV lie to us? Is Spike TV still a thing?
So I feel like I don't get it on my basic cable anymore because like I use my mom's so I could watch it in Philly and it's like not available.
I feel like they may have they may have become a different network or something. That was such a great show. I loved that show and Bar Rescue. Fuck it up, Bar Rescue.
I think it's called Spike. Did you say Spike?
I said Spike, yeah. But I don't know if it's... Okay.
Yeah,
I
can never watch Bar Rescue, and that's like one of my favorite shows.
I love Bar Rescue. I think I told you I went to one of the bars that were rescued.
Yes!
And it was fucking gnarly.
I love
the
that.
floor was sticky. The people were rude. I met the dude who was on the show. And listen... He was not nice. And also, you don't realize this, but the people who, well, maybe not all of them, but they took major pride that they were on the show because they had the episode playing on repeat on every fucking TV in there. Back to this. So then 2 years later, in 1999, there was a dude named Steven Spot. I'm going to call him Spot. And he performs a chemical attractant experiment. Spot is the only person to have ever dedicated themselves to seriously investigating the kangaroo parasite myth. So Spot, he had photos and he had a video of the procedure he had done using chemicals to attract the parasite out of the man's urethra. He even preserved the specimen. So he had the little parasite in a jar that he probably kept on his desk with his other awards. So according to Spot, the patient that had the parasite had ascended his urine stream before violently lodging itself in his urethra. But according to other guys at the University of Calgary, blah, 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 they were like, this is ridiculous. So basically they said, quote, in order to swim up a pee stream, this is in this doctor's quote, in order to swim up a pee stream, the fish would have had to swim faster than the stream flow and lift itself out of the water against gravity. In any event, even if the kangaroo could power itself upstream, it would have to stay completely within the urine, and that would be difficult. End quote.
Pissed.
So essentially he's saying that this Spot guy who's like, I have all this evidence that, and the fact that, you know, this kangaroo can propel itself into a penis the way that it did. He says it's like against the laws of fucking, what would you call it? Fluid dynamics? I don't know.
Fluid dynamics.
I don't know. I tried it.
Sounds good.
So next there's the specimen that he looked at. He's like, why don't you, Mr. Spot, if you did this and you dedicated your life to this little pee hole parasite, why don't you go ahead and bring me the specimen? So not only did...
Bring me the talisman.
Halloween Town.
Yes.
Calabar's Revenge. Nope. The first one.
Mm-hmm.
So the parasite was far too large and it bears no signs of having inserted itself anywhere. The doctor who took a look at it said that he had snipped the spines off the fish, which would have been crucial if the fish were to have been removed successfully, but the preserved fish was entirely intact. Okay, wait. So basically the whole fish was intact when it shouldn't have been intact is what I was trying to say. Listen to what I say and then try to piece it together in a way that makes sense.
And if you don't,
that's on you, boo-boo. Go ahead and give us 5 stars. This is Esoteric Oddities. Still, this Spot dude, he was not, willing to be like, I lied. Okay, so then they say that there's people in town that they say it did happen, but it's not actually reported anywhere. And there is this tea that they make from the fruit of a jaguar tree, and it's allegedly used by natives to dissolve the parasite lodged in the urethra. So doctors say it probably does nothing but the sort, but it might be useful against kidney stones. So that's good to know. And that is the Vandellia chirosa, aka the Candiru catfish, aka the Amazonian penis parasite.
That was my favorite.
The penis parasite? It's kind of gross, but also like it may not be a thing.
A thing, right. Well,
like they say the actual fish itself is a thing, but like having it lodged in your pee isn't.
It's like not. Oh, okay.
But it's still a parasite and it'll live.
Do something.
It'll do, yeah. Enter the booty hole. I don't fucking know. That's gross. I feel like I want to shower. I already showered today, but I love how you're looking at my hair to see like how greasy it is.
No, you said shower, and I'm like,
yeah, no, I feel disgusting after reading this. I don't want to get bit by a bug.
No.
I don't want to be host to a botfly.
Me neither. Where did that spider go?
Yeah, there was a spider down here.
He's gonna give us a parasite.
No, he's not. He can live happily down here. I really don't mind insects like that, but it's like if a botfly comes around here or a mosquito, no thanks.
I'm running.
I'll
never come back.
Do you have a fun fact?
I do. Canadians say sorry so much that the law was passed in 2009 declaring that apology can't be used as evidence of admission to guilt.
What? What?
Should I read another one?
No, I'll take that at faith. I'm going to totally believe that's 100% facts because you said it was fact.
Yeah.
And we don't lie. We're not liars. My fun fact is that Richard Gere's middle name is Tiffany.
I love that for him.
I love Richard Gere in Pretty Woman.
Yes.
I
that's
would
my mom's favorite movie.
Let him grind my gears.
I love that for you.
Just a little sex pun for you.
Do
and
you
your
have
ugly
a
friends.
tweet? Oh, the week.
I do. My tweet of the week says it is screenshot on my phone. So please let me unlock my phone.
Do you want me to do mine?
Yes, please.
My tweet is from Global Esthetician. It's at La Beautyologist. It says if they don't feed you, don't water them. And that's that on that. Take it for what you want.
My tweet of the week comes from, well, it's a screenshot, so it got cut off, but it says Daniel Beneworth Gray, and it's a few different pictures, and it says Google Street View camera taking photos of itself in mirrors. Sci-fi wonderfulness. And then somebody retweeted it and said, why is this so weirdly cute? And it's 4 different pictures of a little robot taking a picture of itself.
I love that.
And to that I say, fuck that shit. They have mastered the art of narcissism. They're starting to blend in with us. Why are you taking a picture of yourself? We're not going to notice that they're here and they have replaced Kim Kardashian. I'm scared. I don't like robots. They already have the robots that are in the grocery stores that are like, they go around and they like notify the employees where there's a spill or something, which I get it. But how many times do you see a fucking spill in a grocery store? I don't see it that many. To me, I'm thinking they're putting the robots in the fucking grocery store and that's what they're telling people, because now people are going to be like, oh, that's great. Like a way to keep us safe. Like I am so grateful for that. And they're like, okay, we're just going to sneak this robot into the fucking store and we're going to tell people it's to clean up spills for their own safety. So everybody's like, oh, wow, that's great. That's so fun. Like, I can't wait to have more robots placed everywhere in my fucking life, where they're going to start watching, they're going to start filming, fucking taking pictures of themselves and others. If they can take a picture of themselves, they can take a picture of anything. Okay. I'll tell you that much. And then, okay, everybody's already listening to us. Hello, Google. Alexa. Rate 5 stars. Hey Siri, rate 5 stars on Esoteric Oddities podcast.
I don't think it works like that.
Well, we're gonna fucking find the fuck out.
Our phones didn't go off.
Well, mine's, I don't have the Hey Siri on. And to that I say, thank you guys for listening. Oh, look at that. Why is that pink? That's pretty. Pretty and pink. Pretty woman.
Are you okay?
Richard Tiffany Gear. Thank
Yeah.
you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.